Hi, this is GPS Training, part of Shepherd's Walks. In this next video, we're going to look at some battery save tips for your Garmin Montana 700 series GPS unit, just to get the best out of the battery in the unit. So I've got the unit already turned on here. And the first thing we're going to look at is the backlight settings on the unit and how long the screen stays on for, etc. Now, any settings that change, just remember these settings only take place on the profile that you're actually on the unit, because it has different profiles as per our previous videos. So what I'm going to do first is go to the home screen by touching the home icon and just check which profile I'm on by touching on profile change. So I'm currently on the recreational profile, so any of the settings that I change now to get the best out of the battery will only take effect on the recreational profile. So if I wanted to change those settings on the other profiles, I'd need to go into each of the profiles to change the settings. So it's nice that you can have things like the screen stay on longer on certain profiles and then others, etc. You can be very individual with how you use the unit on the profiles. So I'm just going to touch the white cross at the bottom left to come out of here, and I'm now going to change some settings to get the best out of the battery when I'm on the recreational profile. So I'm going to go into setup first and look at display. And on the display here, just for the videos, I've actually got the screen staying on all the time. So what we can do is, instead of it staying on all the time, we can put it so that after 15 seconds, the backlight goes off. So this isn't the screen going off, this is the backlight going off. We've also got an option here of battery save. Now with battery save, if we put that on, what basically happens when the backlight goes off, the actual screen goes off as well. So we'll just leave that now 15 seconds, so we've got battery save on. So what will happen after 15 seconds, we'll just leave this, the screen will go off and the actual help save the battery after 15 seconds. There we go, screen's off now, and that would help save battery. Now because I haven't locked the screen and I've just let it go off with the battery save mode, a touch of the screen will bring it back on. I will show you where you can lock the screen, so you actually have to press the power button to bring it back on. But we recommend, you know, then if you're using it in this way, the backlight timeout, you probably keep it 15 or 13 seconds and you don't keep it on too long. Another thing you can do is, if you do have the battery setting, the backlight setting set a little bit higher, so say I had it at the maximum here, 2 minutes, rather than staying on all the time, what you can do, rather than having the battery save on, so we'll turn that off and turn that off and come back out of here. A nice function of the unit is the power button as default is set to turn the screen off. So I've got this set as 2 minutes now, but what you can just make sure that you do, as soon as you've finished with the unit, so say you're on the map screen, you've had a look at where you are and you now want to just continue walking, rather than waiting the 2 minutes for the unit to time out, which is going to use battery, the on off button, if I press that twice, the screen now turns off. And because I've turned it off using the button rather than letting the power save turn the screen off, I can't actually touch it to accidentally turn it on. So the unit is actually on in the background. It'll still record where you're walking if you're recording an activity or cycling, etc. And to bring the screen on, I just need to touch the button once on the side. So it's just remembering, if you do have the set to stay on for quite some time on the backlight, that as soon as you finish using the unit, rather than leaving it on, using that power button twice to turn the screen off. And the other setting I'm going to look at is the actual backlight itself. For the videos, I've got this turned up full, but one single press of the power button brings up the screen here where we've got the little backlight adjustment, the little sun symbol here, so I can actually scroll. Don't want to put it right down, that's going to be too dark, but I can reduce that backlight a little bit so it's not on full, and that will also help save battery. Now while I'm on the screen, I'm just going to show you this little padlock symbol. The little padlock symbol there, if we lock that, that actually locks the screen so you can't accidentally move it. But while that padlock symbol, which you can see in the bottom left, is on, if you had the battery save turned on in this function, when the screen actually goes off, you can't accidentally touch the screen to bring it back on. You have to use the power button. So I'll actually show you that now by going into the settings. So I'm just going to unlock it by pressing the power button once, and that's it unlocked. So if I go into settings again, into setup and display, And we'll just put this back to 15 seconds, and I'm going to turn the battery save back on. So after 15 seconds it'll go off if I don't touch the screen. But what I'm now going to do, if I go back to the map screen, I'm going to use this lock symbol. So press the power button, touch the padlock. We can now see the little padlock icon in the bottom left there, and there's actually a little icon in the very top of the screen there. So what will happen now, same as before when we had battery save on in the 15 seconds, the screen will go off, but because I've used the padlock symbol, I can't accidentally touch it if it's in my pocket to bring it on, which would then waste battery if you weren't wanting to use it, and I have to press the power button to bring it back on. Now when you do that, the padlock symbol isn't on anymore, so it's unlocked. So if you want to use that padlock symbol again, pressing the power button once and then using the padlock symbol again to turn it on. So that's just some battery save settings using backlight, and how long you leave the screen on, or using the on off button, just 2 presses to turn the screen off rather than turning the unit off. These things are going to help save battery. Now another thing you can do, I don't normally find the need to do this with the size of the battery in the unit, but if you're getting to the end of the day and your battery's getting a bit low and you haven't got a spare with you or a power pack, another setting you can change when you're on the map screen, we normally have this set as what we call track up, which means as you move the screen turns with you to the way you're heading. But if you touch the 3 white bars at the bottom right of the screen and go into map setup, if you change this orientation from track up to north up and then hit the little back arrow to come out, just bear in mind now you've got the little blue triangle showing where you are and pointing in the direction that you're travelling, but the actual map itself is pointing north up. That will save a little bit of battery, but normally you don't need to go as far as using that setting. Now just while we're on battery save settings, just a reminder, on the top right of the screen here on the map screen, so I'll just bring that back on, we've got a little battery indicator showing what our battery's like, just giving us a rough idea of battery life. And if I go into another screen, say the home screen, again in the top right there you can see the little battery indicator telling us what our battery level is like. So I hope you found these videos useful on how you can get the best out of your battery and just some of the settings you can change to help with that. And thanks for watching.